I was having a losing month, and in just 3 days, I fixed my strategy and went on to have a 25K month with only one loss during that month, trading only 1 hour and 20 minutes a day. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did it and what I changed in my strategy. And I'm gonna tell you exactly the strategy I used to do this. But before that, you saw the pop-ups of 25K, but anyone can post screenshots. I wanna verify these results even more, so I'm gonna show you this. So before we get into the video, I want to show you the proof and the verification of all of this being done live. This is the exact period where things didn't go well. So I've been live streaming for 3 years. I have a track record showing all of my trades done live from entry to exit on YouTube. I do stream now Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube, but this was a period where I wasn't really trading too well. You can see 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss, 4 loss, 5 losses here, and only one win basically between that. Yes, I've won much more in the past, but this was a rough period. Obviously something was not going right in my trading. I then followed that up with this massive win, and honestly since then in this period I've taken 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 wins and only 2 losses. So I've obviously managed to cover these. Now these are 5 losses, but look at the percentage lost here: 0.6%, 0.10%, 0.3%. So those were all managed losses. Now anyone can cherry pick statements, but I wanted to show you this because this is live. There's very few people who live trade in front of an audience on YouTube, for example, and show a live track record of their trades being entered to exit, as you just simply can't hide that as you're doing it live. So I wanted to show this before we start and show you how I was able to generate over 20K adapting this method of the strategy. So for a bit of backstory, I decided 3 years ago to live stream my trades during one of the sessions I trade, which is London session. This was a big risk. I would put myself in front of people, show people transparently my skill or my failure. Instead of it being a failure, it worked in my favor. I was able to show how powerful my strategy is and how to generate tens of thousands of dollars and how to trade in every single market condition, all done live. But in trading, we all have those testing times. Failing prop firm challenges, blowing accounts, not being able to achieve the goals that you set. A challenging month for me was April. In that month, London session, I just couldn't seem to hit it straight. And for some reason, every trade I picked in that, I lost. Good morning. Oh, straight to stop loss. All right, out. I'm so fucking stupid to keep taking these risky positions. We can survive this. All right, out. All right, I'm out. Oh, that's not good. Okay, I'm stopped out on that position directly there. No even chance to survive that, and I'm out. As you saw, it was just a mess. I couldn't seem to time my entries right. There was something missing. I have a proven strategy. At this point, most traders would doubt the strategy, switch to something new, and start from square one. But I've been trading for over 2 years at that point, 1,000 streams of consistency. So I wouldn't let a rough patch put me down. I knew that this is something that could easily be fixed, and I just need to keep things simple. So I'm able to adapt my strategy, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this exact video, how I did that in just 3 days and generate 25K and cover way more than what I lost in that period. So let's get into it. So now I want to explain the basis of my strategy. I trade in market optimal bias, meaning that I'm looking for the optimal bias that the market has in terms of direction. I'm either looking in a certain session, whether it be London, NY, whatever it may be, I'm looking for price to continue in a certain direction. Now, what the nice thing about my strategy is that no matter if you're someone who's busy, there's always a time for you to trade. It could be Asian session, works. London session, works. NY session, works. NYSE, works. Power hour, works. So we have all of these time zones. You basically are almost trading for the full day here. There's only a few gaps in between where the market dies down a bit and gets boring. So what I look for when I come to a market is I'm obviously looking if I can find a directional bias, meaning if price can go up or go down for this session. That normally starts from the higher time frame and I work my way down. I have videos. If you subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you're finding this helpful. I'll be posting videos about this as well to go a little bit more into depth. But essentially, I'm looking at the story from the higher time frame. Daily showing me rejection, 4-hour candles closing bearish. This is now leaning to bearish. My entry timeframes are going to be based on 15-minute, 5-minute, sometimes even 1 minute, but mainly 15-minute and 5-minute. I need 3 things to enter. I need liquidity grab. I need to prove that price has liquidity. I need volatility in the market, and I need my entry confirmation. So if my analysis is correct, meaning that I'm able to identify what direction the market can do, I just need an entry and those criteria that I just talked about. So let's go through it. So let's say today, based on 4-hour candles bearish, we can see bearish market structure on the 15. I expect price to go down. Most of the time, right, in high volatility, what we can do is we can wait for structure and we can sell something called a breakout, because in a session, I have 2 options. I have option number 1, which is if I expect price to go lower, I will sell lower. because I expect price to go down. I'm following a direction. I'm not going to wait for price. But if I think price needs to pull back, I will allow it to pull back and I'll enter on a discount. I always prefer to enter on a discount, but I trade what I see, not what I want to see. Because if I was waiting there for what I want to see, meaning I need price to come back to the zone, I don't get to trade as much. I show up to the chart and I want an opportunity when I'm there. If something in my plan presents itself that is backed by years of data, I need to take it. Because if I'm waiting for something too specific, always waiting for a discount, then I'm just not going to trade, because sometimes the market moves like this, right? This is 15, 30, 30, 1 hour. This is 1 hour of me sitting at the charts. If you watch my live streams, they're 1 hour and 20 minutes. So if I can't find a move in here, then I'm just sitting at the chart for too long. And I want freedom in my trading. That's the whole reason I started to trading. So I don't want to be sitting here for 12 hours waiting for price to pull all the way back here before I get an entry. I'll be able to enter somewhere in here. So that's what my entry is based on. And if we look at this clean example here, all day we've been pushing down bearish. We're at the lows. This would be a day where I don't go for the breakout. I don't go for the breakout. So I always look for structure. This would be structure, support creation, clean candles to the left, price closes below, right? This is the entry you would take, but this is not the entry I would take on this day. Why is it not the entry I'd take on this day? Because we are selling the lows of the day. Not enough liquidity grab, big candle before my entry. Instead, I would wait for a pullback like that, bam. And now when I get a bearish candle, that's the candle I'm going to sell. And this is going to be how I make profit, right? So I have a way where I change and churn. I want you to stick in this video because I'm going to go through the exact trades I took to make this 20K. I'm going to show you the strategy more in depth and show you where I went wrong, how I fixed it. And this is going to be something that's really, really exciting. And let's have a look. So I want to start with the first trade that actually made me lose. So in this day, I already had a directional bias of looking for buys. We can see that price just lacked continuation. I expected it to continue more, but this was the highs of the day. And we realized London didn't have the volume to start pushing, but it was too soon for me to know that, so I had to suffer. I managed to only lose 0.3R because I moved my stop loss from below the range to below this candle. Still made me lose and started the losing streak. The next trade I took, look at the same problem, not enough volume. I hadn't learned my lesson, and I was noticing there's something wrong with the timing going on, because look, I'm taking a buy, my bias is correct, it eventually plays out, but we just range. Same problem again, not enough volume. So we see now that's 3 losses in a row just because of not enough volume. So there's been something in a shift. Look at the same problem again, sell the lows, not enough volume, goes up to liquidity grab. 3 days. 3 days I took off and I said, sometimes you need, when things are going wrong, you can't be egoistic and tell yourself, hey, I'm just going to continue, it should figure itself out. So I realized that, hey, my analysis is right 90% of the time, but it seems like there's just no volume. So I had an analysis. I did webinars with my private community, and we actually went through exactly what was going on, because in NY session, we weren't having any problems. We were sending highs, people were passing accounts. And if you actually look at April where this happened, we can see multiple people were passing their accounts, getting pays out as well during that time period, right? So I knew it wasn't a problem of actually the overall market. It was specific to just London. Now I could change my session, but I like London and I want to trade London. It fits good in my schedule. I trade London and NYSE live. So I said 3 days to turn this around. I did analysis. I'm going to cut a long story short for you guys, but I found out that there's a volume window that I'm missing. Price is liking to move a little bit later. So all I have to do is just enter a little bit later and let price come in with the volume. I also realized that it might be better to be trading in a discount. So all I did was I went to target more of my discount entries, which is part of my strategy, and focused a little bit on that. Just from those 2 tweaks, not changing my strategy like most of us do when I started. If this happened to me when I started, I'm changing my whole strategy. And when I changed my whole strategy in the beginning, I wouldn't even make money because I have to learn a new strategy. Just from 3 days, I was able to not only recover my losses, which was not even much because I was managed losses, I was able to push into good 5-figure month. So let's go and see how that month started off with. Immediately, discount entry, amazing push. 1%, I could even ask for more. What do we see when it breaks out? Then it failed, right? So we catch that. Second trade here, bam. Now what are we doing? We're entering here. Not here where we were entering before. We enter sneaky. We take a sneaky entry. We're going in earlier, but following the same idea. My bias was right. Price was going to continue down. I could hold this all the way to down here if I wanted, but I needed to start closing profits to start getting my account in positive. Don't be greedy, right? Because if this started come back, I went break even, would have been a disaster. Bam, now we get confident because now we understand the volume time. So I can go back to my breakout. Remember I said I'm either trading at a discount or I'm trading at a breakout. That doesn't mean I'm going to quit my breakouts. They're the same entries. They're just done now when there's volume. Because remember, volatility was super important. How do I know volatility is coming? The charts tell you. Because if it's not moving when you're taking an entry, take the entry when it moves. So that's all I did. Bam. Beautiful trades. Next one, volatility. Bam. Good liquidity grab, good consolidation. Bam. Today was a day where I can't catch a discount because we ranged before the session. Here we're ranging. Boom. Again, look at this one. Clean candles here. This is the first breakout. This is where we were getting caught before because the price needed liquidity. So this first breakout didn't work. Once it grabbed liquidity, consolidation, bam, can take the entry here. This was my first loss. Now, honestly, I was happy with this entry, and it's just what's going to happen. So it's the first loss of the month and the only loss of the month. But I was trading at a discount. I had a zone here. Maybe today was a bit choppy, I could have said, but that candle was quite convincing to me. Losses are going to happen, not 100% win rate. Boom, discount entry, TP smashed, being more aggressive. Another discount entry, TP smash. So those entries started killing it. And even now I've started to stream Tuesday and Thursdays on YouTube. And even on just those 2 days, we are also killing it as well. We can also see the results here as we go into May. People getting their first payouts, people passing their accounts because of this, people getting their first payouts of $1,000, 1.7K, and I can go on 2.2K. Obviously, it's going to create amazing results. Those results have continued. The crazy thing is, I have taken people who haven't even had a funded account to become funded. I've taken people who haven't made $1 to their market to their first $1,000, their first $1,000 to their first $5,000, mostly documented live as they trade with me during the whole week in the community and learn my strategy that I've proven. So if you're interested in that and you want to take your trading further and that sounds good to you, you can check out the link in the description. There's an application there to apply, as I only take people who are serious. And if you're someone new and you're not ready to take that step yet, then definitely check out my channel because it's full of valuable content there. So if you don't feel ready for that step, then just spend time on the channel. That's why I do it. I'm putting out pure value here, trying to show my journey in trading transparently, as well as help you guys level up and reach your goals so we can all eat together. That is the goal. So if this video helped, take care, trade sharp, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon.